They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a movie about a man that's sad and lonely, but all I have to do is act naturally. Alright, what we're doing is looking at a bust that I made in plastilina clay, and all I can say is he's had better days. So I'm in my garage, and I'm just gonna pan over to what it means to be an artist in residence, or an artist per se, and an art instructor. And I just got, like, right here is a pile of drawing demos that I made over the years, and there's like tons of figure drawings in there, which I will not take out and show you right now. It's just too much of a hassle. What is this video about? Art materials and places where you can make your art. So here's a full shot of the bust that I made. I did this looking at some Bern Hogarth drawings, and it was for a drawing class I was teaching at a design tech school. And you can see that on one side he's grinning, and on the other side he's frowning. So I was playing with the different kind of muscles of the face. Okay. So we're going to come over here to the table. I have a little table here that we're going to look at. And on this table is an art bin. This is one of the big jobs. And I got this because there was a time when I was teaching like 3 classes in one semester. And each class was a different class. So one was like color theory, the other one was drawing, and another one was, believe it or not, fashion design illustration. That's right. So you need one of these guys when you're doing stuff like that. Art Bin is the name of the brand, and so we use it like generically, you know, like you say, hey, I need an art bin, and a lot of artists and art students, they know what that is, but really it's just a, you know, tackle box. And you could probably get something cheaper at a hardware store. Sometimes you go to an art store and you're paying for the name. So, you know, word to the wise. So we're talking about materials, and so I thought one of the first things to talk about was what you would transport your material in. So in this case, we have a big old art bin. Here, you'll start learning about the Chinese, you know, puzzles, you know, where you have like a box within a box. You're gonna start wanting to get different boxes, like this one. You buy stuff in boxes, keep the box. This one, and stuff like that. And so you put these boxes inside the big box. This is old, dusty. It's been in my garage. But yeah, check it out. See? Different boxes you can put stuff in. See that? So that's the first thing you want to get your hands on. And so I think what I'm going to try to do is custom this video for a Drawing 1 class. You're gonna get this kind of like kind of a rustic type of filming. I guess that's my burgeoning style. Like you hear somebody talking outside, a neighbor, and you know, I'm not gonna edit any of that stuff. So let's have some fun here. So I'm going to focus on, right now, why you might want to get something like this. Now this is, if you're an art major, I would say definitely get the big one. If you're like a business major and you have an elective and it's like, wow, I get to take a drawing class or two, you might want to opt for something like this, you know. And because I like teaching students who are, you know, totally committed to art. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, you know, I'd rather, you know, divulge, you know, whatever it is I can with a student who's really serious. But I've been surprised by people who just take the class for an enjoyment or just for an elective, and they themselves are surprised at what they found out that what they could do. And I remember having a retired doctor, and this one was really brilliant. She actually helped me with the class because she would give me like things that she'd find on the internet because she was an expert researcher, you know. I mean, I always thought that I was good at researching. But like she outstripped me, you know, and it's like, oh, thank you, I'll use that for the blind contour, you know, that I was teaching. She had some different takes on it, and she's not an artist, she's a doctor, and I go, yeah, sure. So anyways, I don't want to divulge too much into that, but that I get a lot of the different kinds of students. And so if you're majoring in art big time, get this, you know, you might as well start investing in the big guns. I think that you're a student, you shouldn't think like the following. Oh, I'm a student, so I don't have a lot of money, so I'll just buy some cheap equipment, and then when I graduate from school, I'll buy better equipment. This is not the way to think. Why? Because why are you going to school? You're going to school to take the time to learn your field. And so now is the time to use what you're going to probably use when you get out of school. Yes, there are things called student grade, like Shiva paints is a student grade oil paint. You know, you might not want to start out with the, you know, the tubes that cost like, you know, $40 a tube. I mean, I totally understand that. But you're not going to want to stick with Shiva for the rest of your life, especially when you're in school, and you don't want to, you know, use cheapy materials for your drawing class if you can avoid it. Because you're in class to study this, and you're investing in the class, and so, you know, let's get to it. So I'm going to focus on what you're going to do with something like this. So, and what you're going to do with mark making. You need two things apart from the carrying case. One is stuff to draw on, like drawing paper, which is called a support. Two, stuff to draw with, the stuff that you actually use to impress your mark. So first of all, let's talk about the charcoal pencils. I have a whole bag of them, and I hope you can see this. I don't know if you can. Let me yeah, charcoal pencils. Now these are specifically mentioned in the syllabus. There's a list of materials that I emailed every student. I did a mass email to all my students in this art class for the summer, Art 111. And also it's the first announcement. So if you go to Canvas, go to the class Art 111 summer semester, you'll see announcement. The very first announcement is me typing in this thing and saying, look at the list that I provided and get these materials, and like try your best. And so let's see what we got. So right now I'm not going to really go into all the details too much, Leah. You know, you get like I would say you get like 2 HB pencils, 2 2B or 3 2B pencils, 3 4B pencils, and 3 or 4 5B pencils. Notice that as I increase the number, it gets darker, and because it gets darker, you wear through it faster. So what I do is, like, I have like 3 or 4, you know, like HBs, but I'm gonna have 5 or 6 6Bs, you know, that kind of a thing. So you go from a range of HB to 5B, and get a couple of each, and get more of the darker, you know. And that's all I'm gonna say. And the little bags, you know, if you find a bag around the house, like in the kitchen, take it and use it, and you can drop your pencils in there like that. The other item is compressed charcoal, and that's what is in this bag. Here you see some compressed charcoal sticks. There's different brands, and so any art store would have these. They sell them in kits. They sell them in individual sticks. And so what I have here is, this one here is the darkest, and this is like a 6B. And you could just see that it's blacker than the others. And so it ranges from HB to 5B again. So get a few of these. And look at the box that I have. You can probably drop them in the box like that. This is not on the syllabus. This is not in the material list, but this is a holder for charcoal. And anything else you can put in there, like pastels and stuff like that. You can see how it works. Let's see if I could show you. See this here? It has like this kind of prong type thing, and it just holds on like that. And this ring, you know, you drag it down, it loosens it and it opens, and you pull it, you push it up and it tightens it. So these are pretty cool. And then you have another end here, so you have different sizes, this side and that side. Definitely want to get one of these. Now there's like two kinds I'll show you. This is the best one to get. It's made of metal. And that's all I'll say about it. And you might want to get a couple of spare blades. And this is a cool item. You know, I remember having this when I was a teenager and I got into art. And it's like it's the same model. So you unscrew it, and there's you could put a spare blade inside here, and this one comes out. And so what do you do with that? Well, I won't show in this demo, but you sharpen, because your charcoal sticks come like that. And then you sharpen it to something like that. Here's another one. This is okay. You turn this little knob here, little dial like that, and you can push it out like that. And if you notice the perforated blades, like, you stick this like that. Now the thing is, you could, if that's dull, you can get yourself some pliers and just like snap it. Or you can go on the ground and press it like this on the concrete. Like, let's see, I can show you. Let's pretend that this is concrete, and you go like that, and you just go like, and then it just snaps. It's not a bad item. That'll work. Erasers. Oh, well, let's talk about pencils. So we have some art pencils here. And again, I have a lot more stuff in here, but I'm sticking with you guys. So like, these are just some nice drawing pencils, and I have two different brands. And so this is Refine, and this is Kimberly. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know if you've seen that. Here's Refine. See that? Like that. And, you know, Kimberly. And if you look, there's the indicator, the number indicator. What happens is, like, if you have a number preceded by a letter, so like the letter B implies that it's going to be darker. The letter H implies it's going to be lighter. So if you have a 2H, 2H is going to be darker than a 5H. But if you have a 2B, the 2B is going to be lighter than a 5B. So there we go. So you have that and that. So you might want to get, I would say, get like, I never even use 2 H's. I mean, the lightest I go is H. So you get like 3 H pencils, 3 HB pencils, 3 2B pencils, and 3 4B pencils, or maybe 5 4B pencils. I don't know. I seem to go with a lot of HBs. I use a lot of HBs, so here we go. It's that. Erasers. This is the kneaded eraser in the container, or in the plastic wrapping, and this is the one that's like Play-Doh. You can reshape it And this is a pink pearl eraser, and this is the white magic eraser, magic rub or something. Like, this is great. Like, what are these for? When you're drawing and you're doing what's called a subtraction technique, you can make this into a little tip and pull out the highlight for the eye. You can do all sorts of, you can draw with this, you know. This is great for, like, let's say you're gonna do pen and ink. So you first, you know, pencil in your marks and you hit it with the Faber-Castell Pitt pens, and then after that you hit it with this and you erase all those marks you don't want with something like this. This is really cool also for charcoal. You're drawing with charcoal and you want to get a white area. Boom, you just hit it with this. And then also this is interchangeable with the pink one. Like, I also use this for when I'm doing like cleaned work and I have to get rid of the lines and just let the you know, the exposed areas. Well, the exposed areas are erased, and then I cover the areas that I don't want to erase, and I use what's called an eraser shield with this. Here's the eraser shield. So, like, I don't really use a kneaded eraser, you know, the putty type eraser with this. I use this guy more than anything for this. You can get right in the detail and like that, and you can pull out an area that you need. So the exposed areas underneath this cover are what you're going to erase, and you'll be amazed at what you can do with all these different shapes. Another thing to introduce you to what's called vine charcoal. Literally, you're taking a piece of wood and you're exposing it to some hot flames, and you get these twigs. And these are great for doing your sketching and stuff. And if you've seen some of my drawing demos, you can see where I use this. They come in packets like this, and they come in like soft, medium, and hard. And so, so again, like, soft means dark. So before I was kind of fumbling, I was getting confused. My brain was doing a brain fart. So like soft, medium, and hard. Hard is light, medium is like dark gray, and soft is like really black. So they have it like that. And that goes the same for the charcoal. Soft, medium, hard. That's what I meant to say. Now the truth is out. Okay. Two-inch brush, flat, soft bristle here. You get it at any hardware store, and it's great for drawing, and you'll see how we use this in some of the drawing demonstrations. If you didn't want to use your utility blade to sharpen something, this might work. You might get away with this for sharpening even your charcoal pencils. This is the best universal little pencil sharpener you can get. The ones with the plastic reservoir cases and the ones that have the plastic case and the only thing that's metal is the blade, I would stay away from them. This is your best one without the reservoir. You just sharpen this over something like this. See that? So this is something that I use for when I am using gesso and I'm priming a surface so I can do a painting. So this is, you know, it's universal. You just kind of clean it out, hose it out, or whatever. But you can, if I'm drawing, you know, I can just, you know, sharpen. Have this like my receptacle for receiving the shavings from the sharpener and stuff like that. And for those who are curious, this is gesso, but this is not no ordinary gesso. This is Liquitex. Well, I'm sorry, it's Matisse. Sorry, Matisse transparent gesso. Wow, pretty neat stuff. So, what to draw on? I recommend immediately just getting this. This is a little expensive. And a lot of other instructors will say just get drawing paper and they do charcoal and drawing paper. I'm kind of a stickler for, you know, if you're going to get charcoal paper. And the reason why is you could you could take the back side of this and hit it with pencils. And the front side hit with charcoal. So you could use this for everything in your class. So if you just invest in a bunch of charcoal paper, you can make this your drawing paper and your charcoal paper. And but if you can't find this size, this is 24 sheets, 18 by 24 Strathmore. You can get the half size. You know, it's right down the middle of that size, and so it's 12 by 18 if they have it like that, or 17 by 14. I don't know. I can't remember. I used to work at an art store. You think I know all the sizes? I kind of do. Just gotta, you know, jog my memory. So this is important to get, and you might want to get 2 pads for yourself. But I think that 1 pad will be good for the semester. Now, I think that I'm going to probably skip a couple of things just because of absent-mindedness. So make sure that you just use this to give you a visual. But, you know, look at the syllabus, look at the material list, and, you know, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat room on Tuesday. We meet from 9, I'm sorry, we meet from, I believe it's 10 to 11. Double check that, I could be wrong about that. I think it's 10 to 11. Okay, remember this? Maybe you haven't seen this demo yet, because I want to have you watch the material demo first. Material movie. I'm a material girl in a material world. So, boy, should I edit that? Oh man, I probably won't, just for laughs. So this is one of the drawings that we did, and I'm going to have you do. And this is why you want a drawing board. See that? If you have this on your table, you can't really do all this. You can rotate it and stuff like that. And I was doing an original, I was doing a drawing of something else, and then I started doing this drawing. I would probably have this over here and then have this reference right next to it, you know, because this board's, yeah, I guess it's big enough. I think this is better than the drawing boards with the clamps. Those clamps always get in my way, those clips. So I makeshift. So I recommend getting these bulldog clips like that. So I got one, and I dropped the other one. And you can see that, like I have like some materials at one of the schools that I teach, and I left it there not knowing about the virus, and then so now I can't go and get my stuff. So I had to go out and buy new bulldog clamps. So I recommend getting this. And what size is this? Well, this could just be simple about it and say, well, I'm going to get an 18 by 24 size. This is probably a little bit smaller. I'm doing some handheld action here. Pan over here and see what goodies you can see. There's some thing here to show you. White charcoal. This is great for hitting some highlights on your charcoal drawings. And oh, you can use Q-tip swabs for blending. It's great. And then here's a blender. Get assorted blenders, and they're either called blenders or tortillions. I think these stubs, these are called blending stubs, and the tortillions are the ones where the paper is coiled like that, and you're like that. And I got one right here. You can barely see it, little tortillion right there. I can't get it out because I'm holding the camera. But there's, oh yeah, and then the tape. Here's the artist tape. It's white art tape. I think there's no acid in it. I said that it's completely archival. Maybe there's a little bit of acid, I don't know, but it just doesn't, you know, get all brittle over time. It takes a while for it to get all brittle, I think. So that's why I said that, you know. You learn stuff from school and maybe some of it's not completely actually accurate, you know. But I just say that this is better tape and it has no acid, and, you know, take my word for it. I think that's it. I'm afraid that I would forget some things, but I said that I might forget a couple of things. But that's it for now. And, you know, pull back your little table, and there we go. This is where I have to do messy things, and I do it outside. Another thing I forgot was, if you look over here, I don't know which one it is over there. I think these are different cans, but there's something called Liquitex Spray Fixative. And so it's a workable fixative that you use to spray on your drawing, and then you can work on top of that with a second layer. And then you have what's called crystal clear, which is what that is, and that's for when you're done you can just spray that right over it. And it's also good for acrylic paintings and stuff like that. Also, I forgot to mention the chamois cloth for smudging and stuff like that, and charging up the drawing surface. And if you have like a little plastic baggie like that, you can put them in there. This is one of the old wrappers of the chamois cloth. When you buy the chamois cloth, it comes in something like that. And you could also use a cotton rag, which I don't think I have my cotton rag in here. But yeah, and you could also use paper towels. Like I got some old, that's tape. But yeah, you can get like old paper towel and do that to an old sock. And I think that's it for the materials for what you need immediately. Alright, and double check the material list because I probably missed a couple of things.